Call the Senate to order. We'll go to number 17 on the calendar, which is where we left, with Senator Younger. Senator Kirby. Senator Kirby, pass. We're on 17, sir. Okay, Senator Kirby passes 17 through, oh goodness, 52. 17 through 50. Local and private, Senator McMahon. No, we're on the calendar. We're on local and private. Senator, we're on 53.
Mr. President, for the sake of time, since these are just motions to reconsider, I would like to take up items 60, 61, 62, and 63 in block, if there's no objection.
All right, the rest will remain their place on the calendar. Senator, and we have a motion to take up items 60, 61, 62, and 63 in blank. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Go ahead. Please proceed, Senator.
My motion.
We need to read the title, sir.
Okay, read the titles.
Mr. Clerk, please read the titles.
Senate Bill number 2980, City of Jackson authorized continuing contributions to Keep Jackson Beautiful, Inc. Senate Bill number 3065, Jackson County authorized contributions to Friends of Arts, Culture, and Education phase. Senate Bill number 3066, Jackson County authorized contributions to Junior Auxiliary of Pascagoula, Moss Point. House Bill number 1694, City of Gulfport authorized to contribute funds to the Motor Vehicle Transportation System Commission.
Okay, Senator, now we're ready.
My motion is to table the motion to reconsider.
Motion to table the motion to reconsider. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator McMahon.
I'd like to take up item 64 and 65 in block.
64 and 65. Anyone object?
I'd like to ask the titles be read.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1757, Harrison County clarify hotel motel tax for Coast Coliseum and Convention Center shall solely be applied to overnight room rentals. House Bill number 1767, Harrison County authorized certain tax proceeds to be designated for use by Gulf Coast Regional Convention and Visitor Bureau or for tourism solely in.
My motion is to table the motion to reconsider.
Questions? Table a motion to reconsider. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator McMahon.
I ask for immediate release on items 64 and 65.
Immediate release is requested. Seeing no objection is granted. Thank you, Senator McMahon.
Mr. President, I'd like to call up item 66 on today's calendar and ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1762, Clinton Raymond Bolton Wastewater Authority Act create.
My motion is to move to reconsider the vote by which the bill passed.
Move to reconsider the vote by which, any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Proceed, sir. Ayes have it.
All right, we're back on the bill. I'm asking you to reconsider the vote on Amendment 1 and ask you to vote no. That was the committee substitute. It had a reverse repealer placed in it. Ask you to vote no to the amendment.
Got it on the screen. Questions on the amendment?
The only thing it does is the amendment, the committee substitute had a reverse repealer, so I'm asking you to defeat the committee substitute so we can go back to the original bill.
Okay. Any other questions?
I move to reconsider Amendment 1. Vote no.
Okay. You want them to vote aye on the motion to reconsider.
Yeah. I ask you to vote aye on the motion to reconsider Amendment 1.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed, Senator.
Now I want to bring up Amendment 1 and ask you to vote no.
Okay, questions on Amendment 1? Questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, no.
No.
The noes have it. Thank you, Senator.
All right, we're back on the original bill as it came from the House. This is the unified water system for Clinton, Raymond, and Bolton Wastewater Authority to create it. The way I ask you to vote. I want to pass this bill on use of the morning roll call.
Questions? Seeing none, the senator has requested utilization of the morning roll call. Anyone object to procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Present Whaley. Present Hill. Present Chisholm. Present Tate. Present Barrett. Present Parker. Anyone else? Anyone else? Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you, Senator.
Sewer. I ask for immediate relief. I'm sorry, did it pass?
It passed. Bill's passed.
I ask for immediate release on item 66.
Seeing no objection is granted.
I call up item 67 on today's calendar and ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1671, Jackson County, extend repeal date on county's hotel motel tourism tax and authorize to make certain designation of the use of the tax.
I would like to reconsider the vote by which the bill passed.
Motion to reconsider. Questions? Senator Parker. For what purpose, sir?
Speak on the motion.
Okay. Questions on the bill? Questions on the bill? Okay, Senator Parker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a bill we had lively debate on before where we added a reverse repealer. I just wanted to get up here and thank in particular Senator Barnett, Senator McMahon, Senator Blackwell for helping me get that amendment added to this bill. I placed a letter on your desk yesterday concerning the actions I was trying to take to get some movement on a bill that was important to me, and I'm happy to say that as a result of your vote, we were able to get some movement on that. I was able to meet with Senator Wiggins, Senator Eaglin, and I think we've got a way to move forward on something that's important for me, and also let this very important legislation that's good for them through the process. So it's my honor to get up here and speak in favor of coming back and voting on this, and when we do get to the final passage, I intend to vote yes. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator McMahon, you're recognized to close.
I move to reconsider the vote by which Amendment 1 passed.
Pardon me? Yeah, we got to go back to the bill.
Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I ask you to vote aye to reconsider the motion on the bill, to reconsider the vote on the bill.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Please proceed, Senator.
I'd like to reconsider the vote by which Amendment 1 passed.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
I move you to vote no to the amendment.
Questions? Questions on the amendment? All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. No. The noes have it. Thank you, Senator.
I move for passage on the afternoon or the morning roll call.
Passage on the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you, Senator.
I want to thank all of you for your help. For those of you that helped with this helped us move a piece of legislation. I realize that local and private, it's a very small committee, but we work really hard, and the committee that I serve on is different than any other committee in this building. Most of you, if you get 150 bills, you're going to pick out 20, 25 bills to take up. Local and private, if we get 150 bills, we're expected to pass every single bill. So I do everything I can to work on behalf of each and every member of this body in negotiating to get what's important to you taken care of in your local and private And thank you for the opportunity to serve. Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to serve as chairman on this committee, and I'm happy that we were able to accommodate everybody.
Thank you, Senator McMahon.
I do ask for immediate release
On 67.
on 67.
Anyone object? Seeing none, granted. Senator Hobson passes on 68 through 87. Let's see. What page, Mr. Secretary? We go to 162? Yeah, we go to 162. All right, we'll go to 162. Chairman Harkins is recognized. Senator, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item 162 through 164 and have them retain their place on the calendar. And go to skip items 165, 166, 167, have them retain their place on the calendar, and go to item 168, House Bill 1108, and have the title read.
Okay, 162 to 167 retain their place on the calendar. We go to 168. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1108, income tax authorized credit for certain railroad reconstruction replacement expenditures.
My motion is we recommit for further conferencing.
Motion to recommit. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item 169, 170, 171, and go to, have them retain their place on the calendar and go to item 172 on today's calendar.
172. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1663, bonds authorized issuance for various purposes.
Easy. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference report is, there are no bonds in the bill. There's some program allocations for preservation grant and a music program for the arts in there that I think the total of both those projects are about $500,000. And that is the explanation of the conference report. If there are no questions, I move adoption of the conference report on the morning roll call.
Questions? Questions? Seeing none, Senators request the use of the morning roll call. Anyone object to the procedure? Voted no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes. Thank you, Senator.
I'd like to go to item 173 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1685, Pregnancy Resource Act, create.
Motion is we recommit for further conferencing.
Motion to recommit. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator.
I'd like to go to item 174 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1687, Children's Promise Act, provides certain provisions.
Motion is we recommit.
Motion to recommit. All in
Further
favor?
conferencing.
For further conference. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item 175, have it retain its place on the calendar, go to item 176 and have the title read.
175 retains place on the calendar. 176. Please read the title, sir.
Senate Bill number 2159, Mississippi Flexible Tax Incentive Act, create.
I ask you to recognize Senator Parker to explain the conference report.
Senator Parker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. President. You'll remember this bill. I've been up here several times over the last couple of years explaining this. This is our inflex bill that has been I think a passion of myself and the Lieutenant Governor now for a couple of years. If you remember, at the end of last session, we passed this out unanimously, went to the House, and as we were discussing the state income tax, what we were going to do with that bill definitely affected this ability, this bill to move forward, because some of the provisions within it require us to continue to have a state income tax. If a company is going to be given an incentive as a provision to come here or to expand their business, and that incentive relies on there being a state income tax, if we were to remove that state income tax, that incentive would not work. So fortunately, now that with the passage of House Bill 531, we have a situation where we understand where we are on the state income tax, and as a result, we can now bring this forward. This is exactly like we passed last year, just a few highlights on it here. Right now, the state has dozens of tax incentives, most of which are very complicated, some of which are seldom used. We actually extended repealers on a number of those this year because we did not know what we were going to have happen on the state income tax. And so Inflex was designed by our local economic developers to try to attract businesses into our state or expand them. It streamlines the incentives into one flexible incentive and increases transparency, and it makes Inflex be performance-based instead of promise-based in the sense that it has provisions for clawbacks if a company is awarded a project and then does not meet the ability to go through on what we were expecting. As a result of the passage of the income tax bill, we did make a few minor edits. There were concerns by our friend Lucian Smith from the Bond Finance Corporation that he wanted to be sure that if we gave an incentive, it would not preclude Mississippi Bond Finance Corporation from bonding the rest of or another portion of the project. We were able to get that fixed to his satisfaction. And then as a result of the tax change that we made, we've inserted some language that will convert the provisions of the bill from being an incentive to a grant in the event that we change or modify our tax code going forward. But again, I want to personally thank the Lieutenant Governor, thank the members of this body in helping move this forward. This is one of those bills that when you get back home, be sure and tell your economic developers and your mayors and other people there that we were able to pass this. It's one of those things that will get very little press, but will make a huge difference. So that's a brief explanation of the conference report. Be glad to answer any questions.
Questions on the bill? Questions on the bill?
My motion.
Senator Hill, for what purpose, ma'am?
Question.
Were you here for a question, Senator Parker?
Certainly.
Senator Hill recognized.
What taxes would this primarily affect? What categories of incentives?
It hits several of them. The deductions, for example, in the calculation, there's a provision to allow 1.5% of the total purchase or sales price of manufacturing or process machinery to be used as an incentive. It also hits non-manufactured equipment, contractor construction at the beginning. It hits the withholding wages. It can hit the corporate tax that the company is paying and use tax. It gives them a very flexible way to use multiple tax incentives in one package.
Do they have to go through MDA to do this, or can they do it just as a general economic development agency?
They do not have, MDA will probably be involved in most cases, but the great thing about this is that with just a little education from your economic developers, we as senators could briefly calculate what kind of incentive a corporation can have. You could sit down with CEO of a business in your area and give them an idea of what an expansion of their business in your community would mean to them in dollars and cents. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole point of this, is to make it not be so complicated that we can't use it, but make it be streamlined.
This really wouldn't affect ad valorem, huh? Because that's under separate code sections.
That's a separate code section,
okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator Hill. Other questions?
If there are no further questions, I move adoption of the conference report on the morning roll call.
By use of the morning roll call is requested. Senators request use of the morning roll. Anyone object to the procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. Senator Parker, I know you've worked on that for at least 2 or 3 years. Thank you very much for your hard work. Very favorable to employees and businesses. 177, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item 177, 178, and 179, have them retain their place on the calendar.
Retain their place on the calendar. Okay, we go to 180 on rules. Rules is back, no. Chairman Hobson on 184, good, passes. To in conference 199, Chairman Michelle.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go item 199, House Bill 155, and ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 155, State Health Plan, delete prohibition on covering hearing aids.
Okay, Mr. President, I'd like to be recognized to explain the conference report, please.
You're recognized to explain the conference report, Senator.
This bill is passing the passing the conference report in the way the Senate passed it. We're getting rid of the reverse repealer, but you might recall that this bill started out to mandate that the state health plan and other health plans provide insurance coverage for hearing aids for children under the age of 21. We took the mandate out against other plans, and what we have done is allowed the professionals who oversee the state health plan to decide if they want to include this coverage. So we're getting the legislature out of the way. I believe you will see them cover that. The cost, I'm told, is less than $1 million. And so that would allow the State Health Management Board to allow hearing aids for children under the age of 21. It also deleted the prohibition on supplemental premium charges for tobacco use policies. That's the same way it left the Senate. And we have a repealer in this conference report on July 1 of 2026. And I'll be glad to yield any questions anyone would like to ask one.
Senator Hill, for what purpose, ma'am?
I'd like to briefly speak on the bill.
Okay, would you approach the podium, please? Questions? Any questions? Senator Hill is recognized to speak on the bill.
I want to thank the chairman for his work on this. I appreciate everything that he's done. I support this language, but I do have a concern about the State Health Plan Management Board as to the timeliness of when they're going to implement this, because I've been waiting a couple of years for them to update the state's coverage on proton therapy, because I know that there are people denied coverage because the plans was not updated as it should be. And so I support this and what he's doing, and I'm urging and hoping that the management board will take decisive, quick action on this, and also to look at any other policies we have and make sure that they are the most current, up-to-date policies as recommended by the agencies in medicine that govern those treatments. Thank you.
Mr. President, my motion is adoption of the conference report on House Bill 155 by use of the morning roll call.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Thank you, Senator. Any other questions? Speak on the bill. None other ones. Use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes. Thank you, Senator Michelle. Fillingame, Chairman Fillingame. Pass. That's 200 through 205. Chairman Fillingame passes 206 to 210. Chairman Seymour passes 211, 12, and 13. Chairman Pope passes 214 to 216. Chairman Branning passes 217 to 222. All retain their place upon the calendar. Chairman Branning passes 223 to 226. Chairman Whaley. Chairman Whaley, we're on 227, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 227, called up and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1035, velvet hunting season, authorized Commission on Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks to establish.
I'd like to be recognized to explain the conference report.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill is very similar to the bill that we passed out of the Senate. A few minor changes. This is the velvet season bill, which would allow for the Department of Wildlife to establish a velvet season for legal bucks in the state of Mississippi. It would begin on September 10th and end no later than September 20th. Be a minimum of 3 consecutive days, but no more than 5 consecutive days. Would be open for private lands and wildlife management areas. Only legal bucks may be harvested, and there would be a mandatory harvest reporting of that period of time. Now I'll yield for any questions.
Senator Butler, for what purpose you seek recognition?
A friendly question, Mr. President.
Will you yield, Senator?
Reluctantly.
Go ahead, Senator Butler.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator. What is velvet deer or whatever this is? I'm not a deer hunter, so what are we talking about?
All right, so when a male deer, which is known as a buck, he grows antlers every year. And at the beginning stages of that, they are covered in a velvet-like material. Hunters call it velvet. And towards the end of the growing season, that velvet will shed, but in certain states, when their seasons open earlier, it is considered to be a trophy hunt to go and hunt a velvet deer. And that's an opportunity that has not been allowed in Mississippi, and this bill would be that allowance. This would be just further proof that Mississippi is the sportsman's paradise.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Senator Seymour, for what purpose you seek recognition?
Just a quick clarification. Is there a extra fee for this?
No, sir, no fees at all in this bill.
Thank you, Senator Seymour. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Move for
Ready for a
passage
motion.
by the morning roll call.
Use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? Court is voting no. Present. The deer lobby is real small. All right, Chairman Branning. 23 to 26, Chairman Whaley. Chairman Whaley, we're on 228 to 231. They retain their place on the calendar. Chairman Seymour, pass 232. Chairman Branning, passes 223, 234. Chairman Turner Ford, passes 235 and 236. Parker, Chairman Parker, he was right here somewhere. Chairman Parker will pass 237 to 239. Chairman Fillingane, pass. All of these retain their place upon the calendar. Chairman Younger, passes 242. Chairman Whaley will be on 243, Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 243, called up and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill number 2010, hunting, allow air guns, air bows, and pre-charged pneumatic weapons and authorize special seasons for CWD sample collection.
I'd like to be recognized to explain the conference report.
You recognize, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 2010, what it would do, this is the exact language that we passed in the Senate. It would allow the use of an air bow, air gun, or a pre-pneumatic charged weapon to be used for hunting of whitetail or small game during those seasons. The whitetail season would only be for primitive weapon seasons after November 30th. And that is an explanation of the conference report.
Questions on the conference report. Senator England, for what purpose, sir?
Question, Mr. President.
Are you for a question, Senator Whaley?
Reluctantly again.
Senator, you recognize Senator England.
Thank you. Senator Whaley, is this the bill that Senator Rod Hickman worked so hard on earlier this year?
He worked very hard on this, and you're correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And I see that you've grown a little facial hair there too, so I guess this bill is a good manly bill. I'm proud to support it. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator England. Okay, other questions? Seeing none, use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes. Thank you, Senator Whaley. Senator Younger, pass 244 to 247. 248, Senator Younger, pass. Chairman McDaniel, Senator McDaniel, passes 249, 50, and 251. Chairman Fillingane, passes, all these retain their place on the calendar, 252 to 257. Chairman Michelle, you recognize we're on 258, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 258, Senate Bill 2336, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill number 2336, State and School Employees Health Insurance Management Board, extend repeal on premium payment authority.
I'd like to be recognized to explain the conference report, please, Mr. President.
Recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you. You would think something as simple as extending the board's ability to pay our policies for our state and school employees' health insurance funds would be pretty simple, but this is one of the ones that got caught up in reverse repealer. So that's all we've done in the conference report is remove the reverse repealer and extended the board's authority to pay premiums till July 1 of 2026. Be glad to yield to any questions.
Questions?
President,
Seeing
I'm-
none, we're ready, Senator.
Thank you. I move final adoption of Senate Bill, the conference report on Senate Bill 2336 by use of the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you, Senator. 259, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to go to item 261, Mr. President.
259, sir.
Senate Bill 2357, and has the title be read.
Okay, I had you on 259 and 260, sir. Do you want to retain their place on the calendar?
Yes, sir, there's no conference reports on those.
Okay, I got you. So we'll go to 261.
Thank you. Ask that that title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill number 2357, volunteer firefighters allow local governments to pay certain expenses for injuries, illness, and insurance.
Ask that I be recognized to explain the conference report.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the Senate, this bill had 23 authors from the Senate. We had a reverse repealer put in it. This conference report allows our municipalities and government entities to pay certain expenses for volunteer firefighters and other firefighters. This is to clear the path such that the auditor has said that there was some gray area in this, and to make sure we don't have any problems with our municipalities or our counties. I'd be glad to yield any questions on that.
Questions? Senator Carter, you're recognized, sir, for what purpose?
Question.
Are you for a question, Senator Michelle?
Yes.
Please proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Chairman Fielder. Does this have anything to do with the First Responders Health and Safety Act?
No, sir.
No, okay.
We are working on a funding source for that, though, Senator.
That is very important to
Unfunded
me.
mandate that you passed a few years ago. We're working hard at it.
Hey, look, they need to fund that thing.
We're working on it. You may be happy by the end of this week. Our motion was adoption by the use of the morning roll call, Mr. President.
Use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none. Senator Hill, for what purpose, ma'am?
It must be added as a co-author.
Unanimous consent to be added as a co-author. Seeing no objection, granted. Okay, Chairman Michelle, 260 down to 267. Chairman DeBar. Chairman DeBar passes to 271. Chairman Moran. Chairman Moran passes to 272 to 276. Chairman Whaley. Okay, Senate, we're on 277.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 277, call it up and have the title read.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill number 2505, hunting and fishing licenses, allow inclusion of organ donor registration.
I'd like to be recognized to explain the conference report.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the original Senate language with the reverse repealer removed. What this would do, it would allow you to include organ donor status on your hunting license. And that's an explanation of the conference report. If no questions, move for passage by the morning roll call.
Questions? Questions? Seeing none, passage by use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Which the court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes. Thank you, Senator Hill.
I'd ask for unanimous consent to be added as co-author to that one also.
Seeing no objection, granted. Chairman Branning. Pass. Chairman Wiggins. Chairman Wiggins. Pass. Chairman Moran. Pass. Chairman Branning, pass again. Chairman Turner Ford, pass. Chairman Delano, pass. Chairman Fillingane, pass. All of these retain their place on the calendar down to 292. Chairman Seymour, passes 293. 294 passes and retains its place on the calendar. Chairman Parks. Senator Whaley, did you have, for what purpose, sir?
For unanimous consent to be added as a co-author
Yes, sir. Which
to
one?
item number 261, Senate Bill 2357.
Seeing no objection is granted. And anyone else who would like to be added, please come by the secretary's desk and a note, and they will add you as co-sponsor. And we go back to Chairman Parks.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 295 and ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill number 2690, Mississippi Intercollegiate Athletic Compensation Act and the Mississippi Uniform Agents Act bring forward sections.
Asked to be recognized to explain the conference report.
You're recognized to explain the conference report.
We're removing the reverse repealer and added effective upon release. Happy to answer any questions.
Question, Senator Horn. For what purpose, sir?
Question.
Are you here for a question, Senator?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Parks. Senator, lots happened over the last few weeks. Could you give us a brief summary of what this bill will allow for in terms of athletes' compensation?
Sure. The bill remains the same as it did last year with the two, except this was the two changes. The two changes that we did when we had the House bill over here was we added language allowing the universities to engage in, the attorneys to engage in direct talking to the students to help them with their contracts. And then the second thing, the language was deleted and replaced with now would allow students to engage in NIL deals prior to becoming students.
Prior to becoming college students?
Yes.
But once they have become a college student, they can engage in any sort of compensatory deals?
Yes, they were, the previous bill in last year, you could engage in those activities only when you became a student. Now it's allowing you to do it before and after.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Wiggins. For what purpose, sir?
Parliamentary inquiry.
Please proceed.
Yes, sir.
Just wondering if you can, it's our understanding back here on the back row that you can't co-sponsor, sign on to a conference report. Is that the case?
I am not sure about that. Let me check.
Senator Whaley may be in line for a thumb.
I'm sorry, your requirement, your request is incorrect. You can't add on.
Oh.
Thank you.
Delano.
Yeah, that applies to a Senate bill, Senator, so you're half right. Okay, we're back on Chairman Parks. We're back on your bill, ma'am.
Yeah, I move for adoption of the conference report on the morning roll call.
Questions for Senator Hill. Senator Hill, for what purpose?
Just a question.
Were you here for a question, Senator Parks?
Yeah.
Okay, Senator Hill, you're recognized.
This is not my wheelhouse for sure. In reading some of this, it talks about that they can pay them for work done except for like their public image work and stuff. So I'm like, is that like a work study job? I don't understand what that means because it seems like they could already do a work study job.
They're what now?
Like, what does it mean that they can pay them for their actual work outside of their, I'm looking at the conference report.
Yes, you can pay, they can be paid outside if they worked at a, let's just say you're the housekeeper for AKA.
Okay, I just don't understand why we need language that says that they can be paid for something that other students can also be paid for. I mean, anybody can be paid for a job on the college campus. Any student can do work study. I'm just curious as to why we need language for that on lines 55 through 57.
I believe it was just clarification, but we can ask an attorney to clarify that to see if there's any other intent.
It just says for services unrelated to a student's athlete's publicity rights or other intellectual or intangible property rights of a student. So I just don't quite understand why that's in there, but thank you.
Other questions? Seeing none, we're ready, Senator.
Move adoption on the conference report on the morning roll call.
Conference report on morning roll call. Anyone object to procedure? Court is voting no. President Hill. Anyone else? Anyone else? Bill passes. Senator Hill voting present. Okay, we go to Chairman Parks, 297.
Pass.
Pass 297-98. Chairman Bryan. Chairman Bryan passes. 299, 300. All of these retain their place on the calendar. Chairman Michelle, you're recognized. We're on 301, Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 301, Senate Bill 2738, and ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 2738, Health Insurance Revised Mandated Coverage for Telemedicine Services.
Ask that I be recognized to explain the conference
You're
report, please.
recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you, members of the Senate. Thank you, Mr. President. Before I yield to Senator Boyd, I'd like to thank her so much for the tireless effort she put in on this legislation. We had this bill last year right at the finish line. It didn't get passed. It's proof that the hearings that we had last summer, we brought all the parties together, and we had 2 hours of hearings on it one day. And after countless hours of additional work on it, Senator Boyd has brought it to the finish line, a bill that's very important in the field of telemedicine. So, Mr. President, I ask that Senator Boyd be recognized to explain the conference report.
Senator Boyd, you're recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the same bill that you had before you that the House had put a reverse repealer in that we invited conference on. All this bill did was take out the reverse repealer, so it's the language that you've seen before. It is, in general, it is the telemedicine bill that we have had such difficulty with during the pandemic, and making sure that providers could provide services through telemedicine and that they were properly reimbursed at proper code level. We've also put, just in general in this bill, we've also given some authority to the Department of Insurance as technology changes to be able to promulgate rules and regulations in regards to this, that if they are needed. And also, too, we have put a 4-year repealer on this because at the speed technology changes, it's something we're going to need to revisit in future years. So at the proper time, I would like to make a motion, Mr. President.
Questions? Seeing none, we're ready for your motion, Senator.
Okay. Mr. President, I'd like to move that we adopt the conference report by use of the morning roll call.
Use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you, Senator Boyd, for your work on this. Senator Simmons, for what purpose?
Permission to be added as co-author on that bill, Mr. President.
Permission to be added co-author. Seeing no objection granted. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman Michelle. Chairman Michelle, you are holding 302 to 307. Go to Chairman DeBar. Chairman DeBar passes 308 to 310. Senator Horn, for what purpose, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. I request unanimous consent to be added as a co-author of Senate Bill number 2738, item 301.
301, Mr. Clerk. Seeing no objection, it is granted. Chairman Younger. Chairman Younger passes through 316. Chairman Carter passes 317. Chairman Bryan, 318 through 332. Chairman Polk. Chairman Polk passes 333, 334, all the way to 338. 339, Chairman Younger took up this morning. Okay, Senator Hickman. For what purpose, sir?
Mr. President, I would like to hold item number 172, House Bill 1663 on a motion to reconsider.
172, Mr. Clerk. Anyone else? Anyone else? Will you read the title, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, sir. 172.
172, sir. One moment.
House Bill number 1663, bonds, authorized issuance for various purposes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Announcements. Any announcements? Unfortunately, I believe we still have work to do today. Senator Johnson. Senator John. Senator Jackson, I'm sorry, Senator Jackson, for what purpose, sir?
By unanimous consent, I'd like to be listed as a co-author to item number 301, 2738.
301, Mr. Clerk. 2738. Seeing no objection is granted. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. Unfortunately, we still have work to do today. Senator Polk, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate stand in recess until 5:30 p.m.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. One general conference is due tonight by what time?
Thank you, Senator England.
I'd like to call the Senate to order. Do we have any announcements? Any announcements? Senator Boyd, you're recognized for an announcement.
I have an introduction out of order.
Please proceed.
I'd like to introduce the law students from the University of Mississippi who are here and interested in looking at government law. And so they're here today visiting our Capitol, and we'll be here in the morning hearing from a number of speakers. Welcome them.
Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome here. Senator Seymour for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the morning at 9:30, Veterans and Military Affairs will meet in room 409 for a brief meeting.
Veterans Affairs, 409, Mr. Clerk. Senator Simmons.
Announcement, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to announce to the members of the Senate the All Caucus Santa Die Party at Johnny T's tomorrow night. It starts at 7 p.m. and it will last until the last conference report is filed. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Simmons. Senator McMahon. Senator McMahon, you're recognized for announcement.
Adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
Today, when the Senate adjourns, on behalf of Senator McMahon, Michelle, and Kirby, we ask the Senate adjourn in memory of Cynthia Jean Fant.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Senator Norwood, you're recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to, the event tomorrow night at Johnny T's, the All Caucus Santa Die Party is alcohol-free. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Norwood. Senator Barnett, you're recognized for announcement.
Thank you, Mr. President. Announcement, corrections, we'll have a hearing in the morning at 9:45 in room 407. 9:45 corrections.
Corrections 407, Mr. Clerk. Senator Harkins, you're recognized for an announcement.
For introduction.
Please proceed.
On behalf of myself and Senator Kirby, I'd like to welcome in the West Gallery my attorney and former Judd A. Chairman in the House of Representatives, District 74, Mark Baker.
Thanks, Mark. Glad to have you here. Senator Younger, you're recognized for announcement.
Adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. When the Senate adjourns today, please do so in the memory of Gavin Edward Brazil. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Younger. Other announcements? Other announcements. General conference reports by 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So you have a little over 2 hours, please, to get those in. The chair anticipates a resolution in the morning to give us a couple of extra days, and when that's forthcoming, we should have it for you tomorrow morning. Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate stand in recess until 8 p.m. today, at which time the Journal will reflect we are adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.